need you to stop scrolling for just a moment. I'm not saying this for the views. I'm saying this because one day, this will be you. You won't know when it happens. There's no announcement, no warning bell. You'll just wake up one morning in the year 2026 and realize the world kept going without asking if you were ready. I'm 80 years old, and this is the truth nobody tells you about being left behind. Stay with me, because this isn't about death. It's about what's still alive long after the noise fades. I sat on my porch this morning. Same chair, same worn wood beneath my hands. As the fog lifted off the trees, something heavier settled inside me. It's not the kind of thought that scares you. It's the kind that arrives gently, then refuses to leave. This house used to breathe. Footsteps in the hallway, a radio playing too loud. Now, the quiet has weight. Silence, I've learned, isn't empty. It's crowded. It's full of voices that don't speak anymore. Arguments I wish I'd handled better. Names that only exist in my memory now. Over 8 decades, I've watched the world reinvent itself. But that's not what ages you. What ages you is watching the people disappear. When you reach this age, you become a ghost in a world that belongs to the young. I see them rushing past me, eyes glued to screens, minds full of urgency. They worry about deadlines, likes, promotions, and opinions. From where I'm standing, it all looks so fragile, like sand slipping through fingers that don't yet realize they're open. Sometimes they ask me, "Arthur, how do you stay positive?" Other times they don't ask anything. They just look at me with that quiet sadness, as if being the last one standing is a tragedy. But reaching 80 isn't just about loss, it's about revelation. Because when everything falls away, what remains finally speaks. I spent most of my life believing that ownership meant security. If I worked hard enough, if I built enough, things would stay. I had the career, the house that felt permanent, the name that meant something in certain rooms. I guarded those things fiercely. I didn't know then that fear is just love wearing armor. But at 80, I look at my hands and realize they are empty. And for the first time in my life, that doesn't terrify me. Every house I ever lived in now belongs to someone else. Strangers laugh in the rooms where my memories once echoed. What remains isn't the title, it's the integrity you carried while wearing it. The hardest truth I learned is this: the people we love were never ours to keep. Love was always a loan, and the price of that loan was grief. Once I accepted that, grief changed shape. It stopped feeling like theft and started feeling like proof that something beautiful had passed through my life. When you're young, you live for the peaks, the wedding, the promotion, the big trip you keep postponing. You aim your entire life at the horizon and forget the ground beneath your feet. But life doesn't happen on the peaks. It happens in the walk between them. The ordinary Tuesdays you didn't realize were extraordinary. If I could rewind time, I wouldn't chase more achievement. I'd chase more presence. I would sit longer with my coffee. I would listen, really listen, instead of waiting for my turn to speak. At the end of a long life, what you're left with isn't highlights, it's texture, small moments that built everything that mattered. People ask me if I have regrets. Only a fool or a liar says they don't. But at 80, there is a difference between regret and remorse. I regret the risks I didn't take. I regret the words of love I kept bottled up because of my pride. But what is most painful is remorse for the times I wasn't kind. We spend so much energy trying to be right. We argue. We defend our egos like they're fragile heirlooms. But watching names slowly disappear from your address book teaches you a brutal truth. Being right is the loneliest victory there is. No one remembers who won the argument. They remember how you made them feel. Kindness was always the correct answer. I'm not afraid of death. I was afraid of it when I was younger, when I still had something to prove. But at 80, fear changes shape. You realize death isn't the opposite of life, it's part of it. What I fear now is not having lived awake. I've seen over 29,000 sunrises. Every single one was a gift I didn't earn. I'm not afraid of the dark anymore, because I've learned that the light doesn't disappear, it just moves. It shifts rooms. If you're listening to this and you're younger than me, don't wait. Don't wait for loss to teach you presence. Look for what remains now. It's in the breath you just took. It's in the quiet voice inside you that knows when you're rushing past your own life. Choose kindness today, because one day, sooner than you think, what you'll want most is not to be admired, but to have loved well. Thank you for sitting with me for a while. Share this with someone who needs the reminder. And please, leave a comment. What is one thing you've learned to hold close as the years have passed? I read them all. It makes the house feel a little less quiet.